Hey collective, I hope you've been looking good, feeling good, smelling good, eating good, drinking good, thinking good thoughts, having a good time, sharing good energy, in good places with good people doing good things. I split the deck. This is what I split the deck for. Aw. Your friends are, people are talking. Your friends are talking about, oh, how they like you being in the community. Like, it's almost like you complete the community, your type of energy, your type of person. But anyway, yeah, so the title of this is somebody want the truth, but they can't handle the truth. My first thought too is like, well, if people were seeking the truth, why didn't they ever just ask you? Like, there's always two sides to a story, right? But no one ever got your side of the story, right? They just made like these assumptions based off of what one person or multiple people had decided to say, but they never came to you. And if you hear me sniffling and coughing and sneezing and stuff, yeah, they never did that part. They never came to your house. They didn't complete that part. They never came to your house. They never came and asked you. They just sat there and let all of these vines and weeds grow around who they thought you were. And that's, to me, it's they they asked to be fooled. They asked to be set up. They asked to be put in a position where they feel stupid for believing and trusting, whoever they believed and trusted, because like they never came and asked you. Oh, that's why now there's this tower on this house, these people's homes, life. Like they're on their psyche, like there are things like in suspense, even is what I'm getting. Like, once you get on one of these rides, you can't get off. I got on one of these at like Disneyland, not Disney World, Disneyland, when my oldest son was like 4 or 5 years old, and I kid you not, I did not feel safe in that. So that may be something they feel, because it's like it was so high up in the air, and then there was only like this just one little seatbelt, but it's like we are high up in the air, and it's just a little seat. Like they feel, ooh, there are a lot of things in suspense right now for these people. They're in suspense. Has a lot to do with that tower. But I'm hearing like their home life, their stability. Ooh. Ooh. So their home life is in chaos. Well, should have just went to the collective's house and asked the collective directly. Like, you would have got both sides of the story. You wouldn't be in so much karma right now. You wouldn't be, facing all the things that you're facing. But what I'm understanding here is like that was their decision, right? The Three of Wands was like they had the opportunity to explore, you know. They had the opportunity to get the foresight and kind of, be their own leaders, what I'm seeing here. Like they had every opportunity to communicate with you to find out the truth. But the thing is some people can't handle the truth too. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Maybe they couldn't handle the fact that, like, I don't know, that they living with liars. Like, wow. Some people just couldn't handle that you completed this cycle. That wow. But again, my thing is why didn't they just come to you and ask you from the gate? Like, before you start believing somebody, find out what it really is. Yeah. Now everything's coming to fruition right now. All of the depression that they sent out, the anxiety, the despair, and that's because they were trusting and believing someone who worked out of that energy. Like, this is the person that they were following was just somebody who was completely depressed. And it gave this person, like, it fed this person's ego. It really made this person feel like they were the star. It made this person feel like they were balanced to have all these people believing them. That's wild. But now they're all in this despair. They're like I said, a lot of things are suspended. They're in anxiety, probably about money. Ooh. Oh, the reason. They feel really defeated. Everything's really tense in their home life and their work life is what I'm understanding. Everything is super tense. Like, they're finding a lot of, like, conflict. I'm hearing some people can't find jobs. Yeah, trying to balance things out. Like, either them and their person are constantly arguing, fighting, like, or they're having trouble with their child rearing. You know, somebody's child is actually going to end up being a runaway. So, dang. Yeah. Dang. That's wild. Oh, Spirit is saying that's some foresight for somebody about their child. They may call this child Ladybug. That may have been a nickname for this child. It's Ladybug. Or this child may have, I'm understanding maybe while this child is gone, because I'm hearing this child may be 15, they're going to get a ladybug tattoo or something like that. I hope it ain't on their face, because nowadays people be doing the weirdest of things. Yeah. Wow. A lot of it has to do, like, because they didn't take this opportunity to, like, really communicate and have that foresight about what they were engaging in, this Five of Swords. They're meeting a lot of adversity right now. Oh, they feel defeated with this child too. What I'm understanding is this is somebody's karma for maybe they called CPS on you, collective. That's wild. Why would you call CPS on me? Like, I'm sorry, collective. Why would they call CPS on you? What? Anyway, that's wild. Cause it's like everything would have been resolved for these people if they had just come to you, but they couldn't handle the truth. Is what I'm understanding. Like, they couldn't handle the fact that they were working with somebody. Like, the truth is, so. Ooh. But they would have been able to have that foresight to know what they were, who they were dealing with. Hold on, this one came out. I guess they had already made up their minds to like this person. They had already made up their minds to like this person. Yeah. What I'm understanding too now is that, like, now these people are starting to go within their talks, you know, in this solitude, now that they're conscious. Oh, dang. Now that they're conscious, they're retreating from, wow. Maybe there's a Queen of Swords. I'm getting this is in reverse though. Like, there's somebody who, you know, went throughout the whole community, went up and down and up and down, like all up and through that mug, just spreading rumors. And they figured as long as nobody checks with the collective, because the Queen is influence. That was their way of, like, they were perceptive to the fact that, you know, if they went through all these different layers, like, okay, I'm gonna go to the people they work with, I'm gonna go to their friends, I'm gonna go to this person, I'm gonna go to that person. They figured if they went through all these different levels, you know, I'm getting here too, like, if I get people to investigate them, if I report them as an enemy of the state, if I report them as this, if I report them as that, it would just have more eyes negatively looking at the collective. That's the quick thinking that this, and again, like, granted, it was quick thinking, but it was wrong. They weren't very perceptive. They didn't have a reason for doing this. They didn't, maybe because they knew, like, in the future that there was no possibility that they would actually receive, any affinity from you, collective. They felt like you had all of this emotional fulfillment and joy, and like they wouldn't get it. They didn't want people to see you like that. That's just weird. But if anybody had went and spent any time with you, that would have shown them right away, yeah, how balanced you really are. Why you deserve love, why you exude love, all of that. They couldn't handle the truth. What is this? Yeah, these people are very worried right now. They feel very guilty as well. They're in a lot of anguish. Ooh, wow. Because they're seeing things move in very quickly for you. I'm hearing like all your entrepreneurial goals. They're seeing that, and they're like looking at their own life like, I don't know. They be selling some cold slices that nobody wants, and you got this, hot dog stand that goes with you. You know what I mean? Like you can take it and go, to 12th Street and Adams on this day, and such and such and such and such, and sit outside the courthouse on this day, and so on and so forth. Like they see that you have that capability, even whether it's just like to do different things. Wow. A lot of these people don't think that they can defeat this either. A lot of people don't see it an opportunity. There was a download I kept getting about the difference between hope and faith. Hope is like the desire, right? Faith is the confidence that it's yours. So maybe they thought that if you were in a period where it felt like, you had lost all hope, on certain things, because of how people were acting and treating you and stuff like that, they didn't think that you would ever replenish the energy of faith. But you always had faith. Like you always had the confidence, even when things seemed hopeless. Oh, that's weird. Like again, if they can't handle the truth. They can't handle the truth straight from the horse's mouth is what I just heard. They couldn't handle actually understanding what really happened. They couldn't handle the fact that they had gotten, their information from someone who is a have-nothing, a do-nothing. Somebody that, never had their own place before, never filled out an application for an apartment, never had their own car that they went down to the dealership and got on their own recognizance, They didn't realize that whoever they were letting lead them and guide them had never had nothing of their own. The only thing that they had of their own is this group. Wow. This group of people that followed a liar. A lot of these people are, dwelling on the negative, feeling a lot of self-pity too. What is this about? Yeah. Maybe even initially this person felt like, these people are mad at this person. This is a takeout. I'm just realizing too, this is a takeout. Like, I feel like people want this person taken out because of what they did. Whether it be out of the group, whether it be out of their lives, whether it be out of you. Like, they feel like this person played a lot of mind games and caused them to like live in this energy of hostility. And it's a lot of people know too, like you can't really heal from this until you cut the cords, cleanse the person from your life, the energy, learn the lesson. Is that what people are struggling with right now? Learning the lesson? The lesson is the truth. Seek the truth. Isn't that in the Bible? Seek the truth. Wow. Yeah, they're seeing this. Like, they're seeing this. This is them in this Five of Pentacles, right? And you notice these pieces of pizza are not on a plate. They're not, my energy that I'm feeling from this is like it's cold, stale pizza. Like it's been sitting for a few days even. And in this instance, they see you with a hot and fresh, hot and ready pizza. You know what they call it at Little Caesars? Hot and ready. Yeah, you're like ready to take on the world. Like, but in a good way. You already took on the world, as far as they were concerned. They were making you, trying to make you feel like the world was against you, but you knew better. You knew better. Wow. Yeah, they saw that you had a lot of patience. And that's the part of the truth, too, is that's funny, too, because I've been thinking over the last few days, like, some people can't believe that other people don't have aggression and don't hold on to that. Like, I met with a group of people recently, and we were sitting around kind of discussing whether or not they would be on the board of my nonprofit, right? And one of the gentlemen, like, he was the only man at the table, but his attitude and energy was like, he just could not believe that someone was, so focused on happiness. And he seemed like, I don't know, one of those people who like ended up hunched over, his skin is all saggy, and like he leads a miserable life, which is why I'm glad like we met in that environment so that I could like have other options. But yeah, I used to say that patience is a virtue of which I had none. And I wanted it. I wanted it so bad. And people often misunderstand the divine beings. We are patient. We're patient, but we're not pushovers. So while we've gained this virtue of patience, we're not tolerating any BS though. Like we used to be, pop off, we used to, be ready to come bop you over your head with a frying pan, you coming out strong, but we had the patience and that's what persevered. So to me, now don't get it wrong though. Don't get it twisted. Because when the collective needs to, they'll let somebody have it. And it don't have to be like we're getting up in nobody's face and pointing their fingers and rah, rah, rah. Nah. They'll just let them know in a much higher tone that they're wrong for what they did. But that's pretty much it. They'll call you out for real, for real. Yeah. I'm getting that's what that, whoever this other person was trying to mirror you while they went around spreading these rumors and these lies and all this gossip and whatever. They were trying to mirror your Queen of Swords energy, how intelligent you are, how communicative you are, but cold, cut through the BS, like I said. But really this person was a Queen of Swords in reverse. They were very manipulative and lying. They weren't intelligent by any means. They were just, what is the word? Conniving. Yes, they are conniving. They're not intelligent. They're just conniving. They can see a way to play a trick. They're trickster energy. Wow. What I'm understanding too is, a lot of these people want to get back into this Ten of Pentacles energy. They want things to go straight with them. They want to have affluence. They want to have some type of, good standing in the community or in a community. Because what I'm hearing is some of these people are going to have to leave. They're going to have to leave to reestablish themselves at this point financially. But what I'm understanding is they really want to ensure that this person is taken out because they want to be able to they want to be able to reestablish themselves. They want to be able to not look like, who they've been all this time. Yeah. I'm getting it's like they're willing to endure and like, I don't know. They feel like this in some way I'm getting to, like they feel like this would be kindness towards you. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because it's like, at the end of the day, telling the truth, being truthful and honest, about who you are, what you've done, who you did it to, and so on and so forth. If you followed a liar, just go be honest and say that. Go apologize. Yeah, that's the way to really balance it out. Go apologize to the collective. Taking this person out might be a means of that too. I mean, because again, you got to disconnect yourself from these entities, and that person holds a lot of them. Again, think about it. If you're somebody who, I don't care what age you are, to be perfectly honest, there's 16-year-olds that want to have a car, that want to have a driver's license, that want to have their own, debit card, and I know that because I have a son who's about to be 16, and he's already, he looked up himself. He was like, nope, I can open it up now because I'm 15. I'm 15, I can go get an bank account. You just have to sign. Which I thought he had to wait until he was 18. But yeah, so my thing is, I'm getting a lot of this is in reverse. These people didn't think, they didn't take 2 seconds to even doubt what they were hearing, doubt the information that they were getting. But why? Because they couldn't handle the truth. Wow. Because they couldn't handle the truth. Yeah, they heard all these messages and these communications from this Queen of Swords in reverse and this person who's nothing but a Page of Swords. But they were hearing all of these messages from these people about and they thought it was enthusiastic discovery. Look, there's your hot dog from your hot dog stand. They really thought that you made your success off of spell work, is what I'm understanding. Off of being someone who was conniving like them, scheming and scamming. But if anybody, this is what's wild to me. If they had already met you, I could see if this was a bunch of strangers who had never met the collective. But for it to be people that have actually met the collective, and I say that specifically with my own circumstance and situations in mind. The fact of the matter is when I was in my previous profession, I would do whatever it took, as long as it wasn't breaking the law, for my clients. I even at one point had given up my whole commission because the client's husband went out and bought a car right before closing, and they ran their credit and saw this car and it would have thrown them out of whack. They had to bring an extra $5,000 to closing, and I gave that for my commission. I pretty much went home with pennies. I took out of me and my children's mouth, took food off of my own table, because I knew that this was a mom who pretty much was living her life as though she was single, though she was married. He lived in one state, she lived in another, and it was I knew she wanted to make this happen. That's why it always sat wrong with me too, because I had this other client who, granted, she had some type of intellectual disability, but she let her baby daddy, who don't do nothing for her, talk her out of buying a house. And if she had bought that house when it was the we had gotten so many things in that deal set up for her. We had so many things set up for her in that deal. She was getting all kinds of money. They were paying off judgments. The seller of the house was paying off judgments that she had on her name so that she could close escrow. So when I tell you, I would go out of my way, I would, look at every opportunity, every resource, every yada, 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 to try to make people, reach their goals, because that's what my job was, to help other people reach their goals of home ownership. So to be betrayed in the ways that I was, and people to see me in a different light, how far deep in the dark are you to not see me in the right light? People might go and look me up and whatever now, not realizing, the reason why this even looks like this to us is because this is a part of all the stuff that went on. This is a part of the betrayals. This was a setup. Because people try setting up now, you will fail. You will fail, you will fail. I'm just letting you know, this slid out. You will fail, you come from me. Yeah. Wow. People are feeling like they should have never trusted this rat. They feel like this rat got them put in like so much stuff. This is the Two of Swords, but it's the Two of Swords in reversed. Like, I feel like this is even worse. Because it's not just they're feeling, they're having blocked emotions, they're avoiding things, you know, they're indecisive about what's next for them. They are literally at a place where it's like they are overly emotional about this. They refuse to avoid this individual that put them in this stalemate energy. They refuse, like they're working hard and fast together to make sure. I'm only like, wow, look, they're working hard to put this person where they deserve, as they should. Because again, it ain't going to affect the collective. At the end of the day, you know, they couldn't handle the truth. That's on them. Wow. Yeah, they want to change that cycle. They want to complete and close out this cycle for themselves and try to have some type of wholeness again for themselves. Wow. That's why they're adamant about this. Yeah, look, in their homes. A lot of them are experiencing all kinds of things. All kinds of things. What I'm getting is they see you sitting on the porch just waiting for your man. Waiting for the King of Pentacles with your new doggy. Or with your current dog. But they see you just like, welcome to the good life. Pretty much. I should not be seeing nobody's notes with my nose all stuffed up like this. Welcome to the good life. And then I sing some more. All right, let's see what else is here. Ooh. Yeah, that explains a lot. I'm laughing because I'm seeing that person that was sitting at the table with me last week, and it was just like, this person did not believe like anything that I was saying. And it was just kind of like, ooh, this because you bitter. I definitely don't want you on my board. I definitely don't want you in my space. I'm serious. This is like one of those grumpy old men. That may be who this person is going to become, whoever this is. Whether it be, you know, women or men, they're going to become those grumpy old people from what they're about to face as a result. Yeah, you're going to go through a lot of conflict, a lot of arguments with people. That's what's happening right now. They're going to go through a lot of conflicts and arguments with people. Because you're in this energy. Like, you know. Okay, the truth and a lie. So I heard someone say this little story. She said her father was a pastor, and he used to tell this story about the truth and the lie. No, the truth and the lie had, you know, shirts. That one shirt said the truth, the other one said lie, right? On it. And the truth and the lie decide to go down near this body of water, like let's call it a lake or something, and go get in the water and just, you know, have fun, hang out, you know, play, take a dip, whatever you want to call it. And so they took off their shirts, got in the water, and started to enjoy themselves. Well, the lie jumps out of the water and goes and puts on the truth shirt and starts walking through the town with the shirt on saying, oh, I'm the truth. Okay. Meanwhile, the truth gets out of the water. The actual truth gets out of the water, sees that the only shirt left there is the one that says lie. But as we well know, nobody who's telling the truth is about to put on the shirt that says lie, right? If your clothes say truth, if you say truth, that's what's built and put on you, then you're not going to put on a lie. So it didn't. And everybody had to walk around and see the naked truth. And that's what's happening right here. People are seeing the naked truth in all its glory. Guilt-free. Yep. That's something that happened in this scenario. It's like all the lies that were spread, you know, the truth is sitting there naked and not afraid. I can tell you that much. Naked and not afraid. Imagine that. And this is an old story. This is an old story. Haven't we seen that happen in like just old books in general, like in different parts of history, how people have done this? Yeah. Some of these people too, people are like outcasting these other people as well. Like, you followed this idiot. Like, what was wrong with you? People don't want to spend time with these people. I'm hearing somebody's getting kicked out of their little neighborhood group. Maybe they lived in a neighborhood where all the neighbors would get together and, you know, different times of the year, barbecue and, you know, do things together as neighbors on their block. And they don't want this person involved at all anymore. Whoever it is that was with, involved with the collective. Yeah. They allowed this person to like push them, whoever this is. That's what's got them so messed up. They allowed this person to push them. And now it's like they can't do anything about it. Like, they know that karma is coming for them. They know. Yeah, they're exhausted too. Little doggies in all of these photos. They knew they didn't have to go along with it. It says, don't do this today if you don't want to. They knew that they weren't being wise by going along with this. It's like, why didn't you take, like I said, they couldn't handle the truth. It's like they wanted the truth. They thought that they were seeking the truth, but they couldn't handle the truth even when they saw it. And they just kept letting the lie walk around with the true shirt on and just believing the clothes. That's wild. This person used up all of these people's energy too. That's what I'm seeing by laying down on the couch. This person has used up all of these people's energy. They are feeling really lackluster. Like, they don't have the energy because they have demonic attachments. Yeah. Because instead of going within, they wanted to just party and act childish and, you know, be conniving. Well, meanwhile, they see you drama-free. Yeah. Just being your natural, wonderful self. They can't believe this, though. They're like, the collective really was taking care of themselves. The collective really was always this person that we saw doing good, but we didn't want to believe it. Again, a lot of these people know you, or knew you rather, because they don't know you now. Like, they're trying to understand the concept of you at this point. But it's like they knew you then. They knew you to be a good person, but they believed what some idiot told them. The big lie. They believed the big lie. Yeah. The reason why you're able to listen, why you're able to keep it moving. Remember this Chariot card? You can go and create a new business somewhere else. You can go and create new friendships somewhere else. You can go and create a new family somewhere else. You can go and create a new romantic relationship somewhere else. You don't take it personal. You do not take it personal. It's like, dang, I really would have wanted to have this male on the board because I had so many women wanting to volunteer, and it's like, we need a different dynamic. But, you know, I couldn't take it personal that he was, you know, stick in the mud. I couldn't take it personal that he was like super, you know, egregious and aggressive and like about not being happy. Like, that's the weird part. It was like gang banging on bacon. Like, I didn't understand. But yeah, you always look at everything like it's not the end, it's only the beginning. Like, it's the beginning of the opportunity for you to know what to do right the next time, how to get it right the next time, you know. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is so sad for them. Yeah. And you're doing what you love too. That's what they see. They're seeing you do what you love. Like, they're seeing you enjoy your life at all times. It's not just like, oh, you decided to go be, you know, a violin player and now you're in the, you know, some big orchestra. It's not just that. It's like, you do what you love every single day. If you're not feeling it, you're not going to do it. And that goes for anything. They're really seeing you live that life. Like, they're seeing that you don't have any blocked emotions, that you're not avoiding anything. You don't have any indecision. You're not in any stalemate. You're just pursuing everything that you love. That's also why these people have all of these like extreme emotions, you know, why they're going so aggressively to go after this person now. Yeah. And they're also seeing how you literally have expressed the fact that like you don't care. You don't care what they did. You don't care what they do. Like it's not going to have any effect on you. You know, you're going to continue to do what you love. Yep. You're going to continue to love who you love too. It's that relationship. You see the ring and the heart eyes? Yeah, you deleted all doubt. Again, there was something there, like I said, about hope. Like they felt like because maybe they had done so many things, but it's like you had no hope in them ever changing. You had no hope in them ever rising up to the occasion to be good people or to come and ask you like, are you doing this? Did you do that? You know, this, that, and this, and that. Like they never came to you. They never, they never came to you. And I think that's where you lost all hope in these individuals. Like, I can't look for a future in this business venture with these people who don't believe me, who don't have any hope for me, based on a lie, even though they know me. In some instances, you fought for these people when they couldn't fight for themselves. You stood up for these people when they couldn't stand up for themselves. And they decided to think that you were a bad person? Like how, Sway? Yeah, but you don't live in fear though. Like you live in faith. That's what they didn't get. Like while you may have had no hope for them, you had no hope for anything that you were pursuing, whether this be family, friends, ex-loved ones, siblings, whoever. They thought that they were so smart that they had it all figured out. They didn't know they were being conniving right along with the conniver, sitting up there a whole lie with the truth on their shirt, talking about, oh no, I'm telling the truth. A whole lie. A lot of these people are trying to figure out too how to like get down to like the bare bones of themselves, like to how to really strip themselves from this illusion that they're in. The illusion that they're in is that they were right. They were not right. It's the illusion that they're having to come to terms with. Like, even though I thought I was right, even though that's the emotion that I was carrying, I'm realizing that like, I no, they're realizing that. Wow. They couldn't delete. Like they were doubting this, but they couldn't delete it because look, it's closer to the no than it is to the yes. They couldn't delete this. They emotionally, they wanted to have something over the collective. They wanted the collective to not be what they already knew the collective to be, a good person. A good person. Tell your olden days, collective. Tell your olden days. You were savoring every moment. Like, okay, what am I supposed to learn? Okay, who am I supposed to let go of? Okay. The whole time. Imagine that. They can't handle the truth. That's a huge part of it right now, too. Is them having to handle the truth of who they've been all this time. They've been conniving. Yeah. They've been conniving. What is this? Wow, maybe someone is in their house. Someone is like, I'm hearing people are like, stop complaining and do something about it. Stop complaining about where you are now. Because these people are in that 5 of Pentacles. They're having hard times, bad health. They're being rejected by their children, by their family members. Yeah, because of this abuse of power. And people are like, stop complaining. Like, yeah, we get it. You were wrong. But you thought you were so right. So, wear the crown of an idiot if you that you deserve. That's the one you earned, right? Go on and put on that lie shirt because you believed the whole lie. A lot of these people were partying and drinking and stuff too. Maybe that's something that somebody's experiencing with their life now. Their wife is like going out and meeting other people, but they brought these. Ooh, this sounds like Candy Burris. Not saying that this is a reading on her at whatsoever, but it's like they let these people come into their bedroom. A lot of these people were fine with having intercourse with other people to do this magic on you. You know, they claimed it was a swingers club or whatever they wanted to claim. You know, they claimed it was an open relationship or whatever they wanted to claim, but they was really committing dark deeds. And now somebody can't get their wife to like stop being in this party mode. That's what somebody else is experiencing. This might be the same person who's having issues with their daughter who's going to run away. Ooh, and the wife feels like there's no justification needed for going out. Ooh, did they catch a disease? Ah, dog. Yeah. What I'm hearing is they caught a disease from whomever this is getting kicked out of the group or whatever. Somebody was like knowingly spreading diseases. Probably lied and said they got it from the collective, and the collective has got a clean board of health. Except for this flu. This is odd to me too, because I haven't had had a cold in like forever long. Like years. But my daughter, she gets them, and she's always, kissing me and hugging me and kissing me and hugging me. So I figured one day I would. But what was funny was that I kept saying, I can't afford to have a cold. So until I win the lottery. So also conducive to what I've been saying, like I manifested it that way. That was me agreeing to not have a cold until I won the lottery. And again, that was the previous reading that we had on the collective energy. Like counting them coins, baby. Money coming in easily. Money coming in repeatedly. Look, living a guilt-free life. That's funny too, because I've been eating whatever I want to, and I just realized like I don't even know what size clothes I wear. I went and bought a couple new skirts thinking that they were the right size. I'm smaller than I thought. Wow. Yeah. Whoever this was that spread this disease thought that they, that they were guilt-free because they blamed it on you, collective. Again, why didn't anybody come to the collective? I'm just saying. They never took the moment to retreat from this energy and go to seek, like, the truth. They can't handle the truth, clearly. Because they didn't have to do it. Let me get another deck. This is so sad for them. Yeah, maybe they put a deaf ear to it because they were told that they would gain, like they would get something out of doing this. They did. Oh, they got something. That's for sure. They got something. That is for sure. It wasn't what they wanted. Ooh, yeah, this person has no, like, I can't say that this person is selfish. What I can say from this card is, like, this person is very full of themselves. They have a mullish attitude. They're very arrogant. But what is selfness? I don't know what that means. Because I can't see this person loving themselves, because that's the person's problem. Like, this person doesn't, like, think anything of themselves. That's why they had no problem spreading these lies. They don't think well of themselves. So it's like, oh, the only way I can actually get people to look at me in the way that I want is by lying, is by spreading rumors and gossip. Yeah, now they're in danger. That's what they gained. They gained, like, oof. Somebody may be wanting to hit this person over the head with a frying pan. Are you out here gaining blessings, gaining fulfillment, well-being, and enlightenment? Wow. Boxing with the pillow. Not pushing. Yeah, these people did not hesitate. That's why they're boxing the pillow. Do not push me. They weren't even being pushed in that direction. They didn't hesitate. That's what I'm getting from here. They didn't even hesitate. They just wanted to get on board with some stuff. Yeah. Decision, confusion, worry. Now it's got them in a whole different place because they didn't hesitate. Look, now it's got them suffering. You know, they're being persecuted by their family, maybe even some by the police, because there's an investigation on this hate crime, because there's no other reason for them to have gone along with this other than they just hate the collective. But that's the thing. Them worshiping you like this, thinking about you every morning, noon, and night, being so focused and so hard pressed on what's happening with you next constantly, they literally worship you. And if they hate you, oh man, they give you all your power. So that's what they didn't realize. This whole process was just you taking all of their power. You taking all of their, you know, whatever it is that they were willing to sacrifice, which it looks like, shoot, it looks like they sacrificed everything. Yeah, it really is a nightmare for these people that you are in this, you know, receiving fulfillment, well-being, and enlightenment. Wow, they did not hesitate. Because hesitation means that you would have went and asked the collective. You would have went straight to the horse's mouth and been like, hey, maybe even some people were out here saying that the reason that you were wrong or something like that is that they didn't hesitate to believe that you were third wheel. Maybe because you stay single, you keep your business to yourself. So it was kind of easy for them to believe that you had something going on with somebody who was married. That's why you never brought anybody around. But in reality, you never found anybody that was worth you bringing around. Like, yeah. I'm just saying, when you date a lot of people who turn out to be straight bums, like who have no, you know, desire to have more. You know, people who, like I said, never filled out their own rental application, or who feel like it's a big, you know, a big accomplishment to do that at 40 something. Like, what are we talking about right now? You done lived almost half of your life. You just now doing that? Like, what the hell? People who live on they folks' couch, or, you know, stay with their family. You know, people who have no aspirations other than to be conniving, or to go back and forth between different baby mamas. That's what I'm seeing here too. Like, there was somebody involved in this who, you know, constantly went back and forth between different baby mamas. And people who became, no shade to anybody, I just want to put this out here before I say this, but who became teen parents, and instead of being positive about their ability to parent, they saw it as like shameful. Oh, now I got this kid, you know, so I got to do this, this, and this. And I can't say that a lot of people, you know, don't feel like that when they, not shameful. I'm saying like, okay, now I should try to make, you know, this into a family since I have a child. But this is somebody who it's like they did that knowing that they would never be faithful. That's what I'm hearing. Like, they knew they would never be faithful in any of these relationships, but they kept getting into them. And then would get mad when the relationship wouldn't work out at the other person because they were a cheater. That's wild. That's wild. This is that natural disaster in this person's life. Yeah, they would always take this risk. Anytime they felt frustrated in a relationship, they would go run out and cheat. They felt like that was the only way to survive being in a relationship. No. The only way to survive being in a relationship is by choosing someone who has the same values, considerations, who has the same type of ability to love, who's healed, who's emotionally stable. But again, like, I can't even let somebody sit on my board of directors just because, you know, he's bitter. Like, he doesn't, like, we don't share the same vision. Yeah, I'm looking to triumph. I'm looking to have success and victory and achieve all of these things. If I got somebody, you know, who's trying to be on the team that's negative, I don't need that. I hear what y'all saying about diversity, but that's not the diversity I want. Like, that's what leads you to the nightmare. That's what leads you to suffering and darkness and persecution. I put this person on my board. We're going to be having fights up amongst the board because he don't want to get on board. You feel me? They partnered up with the wrong person. What I'm feeling too is this person, essentially they carry all of these demons themselves because this is who they are. They are the type of person that always has third parties. Again, this person is a cheater. So they've attached that demon. That's why people are having problems in their house. They attach that demon to these people. They binded these people to them and their way of living. I don't care if you did it 1 time, 6 times, 6 years, 3 months. Like, it doesn't matter. Once you engage in that, listen, once you take the adventure, you can expect a nightmare. That's all I can tell you. That's also why a lot of the divine beings and a lot of the women are closing up shop. I just had the foresight to close it up even earlier because it's like, I wasn't doing nothing with it anyway. That's another thing. It's not hard for people who aren't out here being with just everybody and anybody to go ahead and remain abstinent. It's not hard for us to live that lifestyle because we've already been careful with ourselves, Everybody has their fair share of like, oops moments like, did I make the wrong? Be praying to God, everything comes out clear. But I didn't like that feeling. I didn't like the feeling of like not knowing if I had subjected myself to something. That's another reason why I won't date cheaters. Is because like if somebody cheats on me, you better never see me again, because I don't want you to look at me. I don't want you to think about me. None of that. For the simple fact that it's like people who cheat don't realize you are exposing someone to something that they don't want any part of. Cheaters don't realize it's like they're trying to play with your life. That's probably what got a lot of these people caught up too. That's how you take a positive adventure. That's how you take a positive adventure towards a promise, by being responsible, assuring your person of your love and your, devotion to them. This is confirmation. Yeah. What I'm understanding, like that's also how you gain more opportunities and adventure in life. It's by exploring the passion, traveling together, cultivating things, that would bring a profit, having a conclusion. It's like I've arrived at the conclusion to not date cheaters. I've arrived at the conclusion to not give up no panty draws. Like men need to be under the same thing. You need to give up no boxer briefs. I'm just saying, people don't realize when you connect with someone like that, you are sharing every high and every low. So every trauma that they've experienced and every exciting thing that they've ever experienced is being shared. That's why it feels like it does emotionally, right? But the difficulty is that you're sharing these. If this person has more trauma than you, they've just dumped all of that trauma into your life, into your emotions, into your psyche. That's why being in sweeter groups and having open relationships. Look at Candy. She had this open relationship with her husband and, it got out of hand. When you open yourself up to other people's demons, you are literally opening yourself up to other people's demons. And you're right on time with all your stuff, collective. How you manage yourself, how you planned, how you organize your life and the structure to be able to take this adventure to start traveling more. I keep hearing traveling more. Go on a vacation. You ready to go on a vacation? You can be sleeping on somebody's yacht. Having sweet dreams. Yeah. A lot of these people thought that you were wearing a mask when you weren't taking it personal, like when you were just brushing it off. Dusting your shoulders off. Players as pimps too, go and dust your shoulders off. I don't really know the words to that song, but people thought that was you wearing a mask, but you just weren't taking it personal. You weren't masking anything. You weren't deceiving anybody. You weren't pretending. There was no inconsistency in who you were. What's funny is like now they see that on the other end of things, on the on this side of all of this. Now they see it. You know why? Because they couldn't handle the truth. Like, I'm just saying, seeing you so calm all the time, seeing you always receiving this good news. You have a lot of inner peace too. People are encouraged by you. You're being encouraged by people. People see, how to create miracles in their own lives People are creating miracles in their lives and surprised by, everything that they're coming to know and understand by being, around someone that has so much simplicity. Like, you're not complicated. Maybe you do some meditation too. I like her yoga outfit. I just noticed that. Is that aloe? Oh, yeah. While these other people are out here confined. It's because they tolerated trying to bind someone else and didn't realize they were binding themselves to this. They thought that they were binding you, but you weren't a part of any of this. Maybe that's the illusion too. This person that's telling these people that you're doing all of this stuff, the same stuff that they're doing. That's what doesn't make sense to me. How could being in a swingers group and doing all of this stuff and doing these rituals, now how could you guys be right if you saw it as wrong when you thought the collective was doing it? It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. Somebody may indeed be going to jail. I mean, it is a hate crime. This is a big old hate crime. So, daring adventure. Because it's like they don't have any excuse other than we didn't like this person. Why didn't you like this person? Because of all, these lies we were told. Look. Because we had all of this backup on, coming together to make the lies bigger, to spread the lie even more. It's like in some instances, these people are told the lie, and it's like, okay, they go out, each group goes out this way, right? One group goes out this way, the other group goes out this way. And then they feel like, oh, see, we're right, because other people start coming in and telling them before they can tell them. No, it's because the lie went out like that. Like the lie spread. You saw the Queen of Cups. She went on every layer. So it's like when stuff came back to them, they're thinking, oh yeah, this is the truth. When in reality, it's like, no, you guys just literally spread this lie in so many directions through so many people. Yeah. These people really wish that they could compromise with you. They want to come to some type of agreement, some type of reconciliation, some type of consideration. Hell to the no. Hell no. Deal with your danger and your caution and your injury on your own. To the no, no, no. Hell no. I'm just saying. Continue to do what you love, collective. Don't compromise with people who didn't take the opportunity to try to even find out if what they were hearing or what they were saying was true or not. Maybe someone's even fighting with their mother and I don't know if that's a sister energy or their girlfriend, because I'm seeing this person is older. Maybe that's the issue for whoever this is whose daughter is going to run away. Okay, that's who it is. The wife. And like she's calling the stepmom. That's what I'm hearing. She's calling the stepmom out because she's like, well, you run around with different men all the time and da-da-da-da. And you try to look professional. Well, really, you out here being at 304. And the stepmom is like, I can do whatever I want to. You don't know about this situation. And whoever this guy in the middle is, he confused. And you over here calm as a man. You have no cares in the world. Like we said, you don't take it personal. You just enjoy what you love. Maybe even buying a new home. Wealth, investment, mega project. Oh yeah. You're collaborating with someone else to do this. The people that are your backup, that have unified with you, that enhance your life in a positive way. Because you and your people don't sit around spreading rumors. You spread facts. You don't spread lies. You spread the truth. That's the difference. Even if it has to be the naked truth and people stare, oh, that truth is naked. Yeah, we had no choice. The lie stole our clothes. I'm just saying. Yeah. That's how you really persevere. You don't have to go and put on the clothes. You don't have to go out there and lie on them. You don't have to go out there and allow yourself to be this lie, or to be engrossed or entrapped in this lie. Yeah, you knew that though. That's why you persevered over it. It was a challenge, but you endured it. And that's why you had this resolution. I'm going to give me a hot dog cart. That way I could just move it around. Ain't got to stay here. They thought that too. Yeah. Somebody really does. I told you, this is someone who has a disease. I told you, somebody in their household. Like, that's what the issue is right now over here. Somebody has a disease. I have the flu, but somebody got a disease. It says disease, weakness, and fragile. Somebody could have a honeymoon in Vegas. I'm just saying. It could be somebody who got married in Vegas even. That's a part of your past profession? Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Seriously, that's lucky. That's all they are. They lucky. That's all they got. Dang it, Tina. All right, let's see. What else? Do I want to take any more cards? I really don't. I mean, they are who they are. They're facing whatever issues. A lot of these people are isolating themselves. Like, they can't even dress themselves up the way that they used to. Maybe even someone has somewhere to go and like the plans got canceled. They got uninvited. They got to release these attachments. They got to release these attachments. Wow. Yeah. And also be grateful to have ever known the collective. Like, be grateful the collective was ever in your life. Like, whatever you felt, you need to unfeel it. Like, and be grateful. Look at that. Because again, it wasn't about hope. It was about faith. Hope is just, the idea, Oh, I hope one day I can go here. Oh, I hope one day I can do this. Oh, I hope one day I can do that. You always had faith. I'm going to go to this place one day. When you started making out for your new hot dog cart, oh, I know I'm gonna be able to bring in all the bucks. Oh, I know I'm gonna be able to find a good soft bun bread vendor to buy my stuff from, because you knew it was your destiny. Boop, you had faith in that. Boop, 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 boop. Boxing with the pillow. This came out in reverse. Yeah. You're not forgiving these people. That's a lot of the reason why these people are mad. Wish they never, allowed themselves to, because you won't forgive them at all. It's like you're impartial. What I'm understanding is like you have forgiven, but these people get forgiveness and acceptance like back into your life mixed up. These people think that forgiveness means, oh, okay, well, I'll go ahead and, start back up the business with you. I'll go ahead and make you my bestie again. That's not what it means. That's why they struggle so much. It's like you're impartial. You're balanced about the situation. You don't have to, I'm going to re-forgive you? Like, that sounds crazy. These people keep pushing that agenda like, oh, the collective won't forgive us. The collective don't give a damn about you guys. They forgave you already, but they don't care about how you feel. That's a big part of their problem. You don't care about how they feel about themselves right now. And so they see that as you not forgiving them. But really, again, this is all of these people's emotions. This is all of the things that they make up in their head. You've already forgiven these people. You're not going to keep, I'm going to keep forgiving you. For what? I already forgave you. Stop doing stupid stuff. Then you won't feel like you need forgiveness. I'm just saying. The collective is not going to keep, Maybe they're coming to terms, like maybe they're starting to perceive this correctly. Like the collective is just impartial. They don't care to be, involved in none of y'all lives. Like, not at all. They're busy on their journey. Like, again, forgiveness, like, I'm not re-forgiving you. Stop doing stupid stuff. If they weren't doing things, if they weren't looking at you wrong, if they weren't out here still trying to push some wicked agenda, then they wouldn't keep feeling like they need your forgiveness. Because they know they've already been forgiven. It shows. It shows. What's here? This third wheel. Yeah. Instinctively, they know that too. I'm feeling they should have followed their instinct. They knew that they were being ignorant. They knew that they were being ignorant. They 100% knew that they were being ignorant. Ignorant to the truth, ignorant in the way they behaved, all of that. They knew that they had no wisdom. Like, they just was running off of somebody else's tails, like perceiving it from the perspective of somebody else, but not with wisdom. Yeah, and kept wondering why you weren't guilty, why you didn't feel guilty about, nothing, none of this. Like, because you didn't do nothing. That's weird. You completed that cycle. It's like, I don't feel guilty if something happened to these people. If they did spell work, if they did graveyard magic on the collective does not feel guilty that they end up in that hole. I'm just telling you. You know why? Because collective don't have no say-so on that. Collective is not pushing that agenda. They pushed that agenda for themselves when they sent that out, when they did that work. Somebody is really tripping. Collective ain't going for keep, like, I'm just saying. When collective forgave y'all, the collective forgave you for the past transgressions, and they determined that they would continue to forgive you because they never wanted to be held hostage to whatever it is that you were doing. They knew the only way they could get this cart on the road was to stay in that energy of like, oh, that's what they doing? Okay. As long as they realized, as long as the collective knew and understood how to take whatever was being sent towards them, how to cleanse their energy, how to transmute things, how to just have so much protection. Like, it's a process, right? Yeah, they really do see you on this journey. They've been seeing you on this journey. They just couldn't handle the truth. What is this? Oh, yeah. Somebody's feeling like shriveled up right now. They feel comfortable with not having anything. This is the type of person. They haven't had anything yet. That's why the people that they got involved in this are coming at them so hard. It's because they were like, you never had nothing, number one, to go on. Like, you never had nothing about yourself. You never had nothing going for the collective to be attacking. Like, that's what somebody told, is like, the collective's attacking my marriage. The collective is attacking my, my business. The collective is attacking this and this. And this person never had none of that to be going after in the first place. Like, did anybody investigate who they was dealing with? Because I guarantee you, the collective's person is single and the collective is single. And they've been single since they started to engage with each other, since they started to investigate and, become more intrigued with each other. The collective has been single. How am I be abstinent? Like, let's think about things. How can someone be abstinent in a relationship unless their person is being abstinent with them? And this kind of person ain't being abstinent to save their life. Because clearly, they had no life to save. Like, come on. This person was so willing to go through and go do this because they didn't have nothing to lose. They had nothing to lose because they never gained anything in life. They never had nothing going for themselves. No house, no car, no real love, no relationships with their children, no relationship with anybody that they were dating, like no true connections, no business, no future, no foundation. This person never had nothing. So they needed all of these other people's energy. They needed all of these other people's businesses. They needed all of these other people's family relationships. They needed all of this stuff from these other people. They needed these people to work with them, to have something to put up against the collective. All for these people to lose it because the person that was holding it never had anything. If you give someone, I know a man. I'm going to just tell you right now, I know a man. He was given a whole car. And I was a little irritated. I was like, I like that car. Like, I think it was like an Acura TL. This person was given a whole car. Their roommate passed away, and in that person's will, they gave them the car because they didn't have no car. Do you know this person never went and got the car, like never got an oil change? They're just rolling until the wheels fell off. And it was like, oh, the car broke down. Like, nah, you just never got the car fixed. Like, you never maintained the car. That's this person. You can give them everything. You can give them a brand new house, and they will have that mug so trashed out. I'm just telling you, that's how some people are. Like, for instance, when I started to move out the house that I shared with my ex-husband, and he had long since been gone, but we're moving out of that house now, me and my children. And this is like years after he was gone. And I'm cleaning up out in the garage and I find all of this old stuff that I told him to throw in the trash. Literally like random pieces of wood, broken stuff. It's like, why didn't you, like you would bring it all the way into the garage and hide it to pile up trash in this corner, but you couldn't just take 5 more steps and go open the garage door to the trash bins and throw it in there? That's this kind of person. They would rather store up trash than to have anything, like than to have a clean slate in life, than to have a, that's this person. They would rather store up trash in their life and in other people's lives than to do anything right, than to have a clean, pristine home. I could tell you a lot of stories about a person like this who's just dirty. They probably live in filth. Y'all been over to this person's house? I'm just saying, y'all following this person around and believing them. Have you been over to this person's house to see how they really living? You ever been into this person's bedroom to see what they sleep on? Because some of y'all not even realizing, like, if you had even done that part, you probably would have never. I'm just saying. There's somebody who will have rats and roaches and just be like, okay, well, we got rats and roaches. They wouldn't call an exterminator. They wouldn't call their landlord. They don't know how. They don't know how to get rid of stuff. They like that. They like to be able to tell somebody something bad about their circumstances so that they can feel better when that person feels sorry for them. And that's exactly what they did with all these people. They came to all these people and told them maybe even the truth about how they was living in some instances, but didn't tell them why they were living like that. It's because they're complacent in that. You could give a mug a whole car and they would never wash it, never take it to the, to get fixed, nothing. This is the type of person they were following. This is crazy. This is crazy. No wonder the collective renewed their own destiny. That better be the motion these people are on, because they are so far from it. This person needed every last one of these people to believe them, because they had nothing to give this demonic entity. They had nothing to say, okay, we'll trade this for this. This person was making deals by themselves with the devil on behalf of these people, because their deal with the devil is like, as long as I get them to agree with me to go and do this, then that means we can use all of their stuff. We can forfeit all of their stuff, because this person ain't had nothing. They were complacent with seeing everything shrivel up around them, because this is that person. You could give them a whole house and that thing will be dirty in no time. Think about it. Ugh, somebody outside just said something about somebody ain't shit. Real talk, though. Real talk. Yep. Collective ain't nothing but grateful. Grateful, 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 grateful. Grateful, 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 grateful. That they're able to recognize people like this. I recognize them now as soon as I come into contact with them. I don't speak too much to them. If I have to, because where I'm at now, like I'll be around thousands of people every week, but I have no desire to be around these type of people, and I keep my distance. And I will call them out too. And I'm grateful that I have the understanding and the knowledge on how to properly call them out, to the point where other people start calling them out publicly. I ain't even got to do it. I release whatever it is that, hey, whatever you said, old man, is what you said. And I grow from the situation. Like, oh, okay, that's what this looked like. Or grow from it just knowing who they are. That could be the growth in itself. Like, oh, okay, this one of them people. This one of them people come out. And I don't know, like they're either one end of it or they're the other. They come out and they always look dressed up and nice and yada, 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 but their house is a mess. Or they come out and they be wearing wrinkled clothes and this and that and this and that, but they still somehow, the one that dresses up and tries to, put on this appearance, the person that does that, that's the type of person that feels like they're better than everybody else and has all of this authority over people and boasts and brags about what they can do, right? So they have a superiority complex, a God complex. And that's what they present to people when they're out and about. The other end of this, the same type of person, though, who has, like, again, Nothing to lose. That's why they forfeit everybody else's around them. But that person comes out, don't care what they look like, be disheveled. They might be yuck mouth because they don't brush. All kinds of shit going on with this person so that they can get other people to feel sorry. So it's like one end of the spectrum is somebody wants people to feel sorry for them. The other end of the spectrum of this complacent person is that they want to make people feel like they owe them an apology. They want to keep people under their thumb, so to speak. That's the difference. Yeah, y'all got to release whoever this is. Not you, collective. You ain't got nothing to do with this. You were an innocent bystander. And you said bye and left them standing there. I'm just saying. Bye. 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 Yeah, you can see people's insecurities right off the bat. That's what they're dealing with, is they're being tied to all of these demonic entities because of their own insecurities. Again, whoever is connected to these people or was connected or whatever, they got a lot of cleansing work. They got a lot of spiritual work to do. Because right now, the things that they're experiencing in their home life, like kids running away, wife cheating all the time, can't find no way to make money, got to move to another state, might have to split up and you stay here because it's cheaper for me to keep this house for y'all. I'll go stay and, rent a room somewhere, not a hotel room, but just rent a room in somebody's house for the cheap while I work this other job. Like, it's splitting this whole thing up. These are people's real scenarios right now. And the only way to really get through that is to release these demons. And a lot of it has to do with facing themselves, realizing who they really are, who they really were. They can't look in the mirror and feel good about themselves. I know that for sure. Yeah. Message. They feel real insecure, though, right now because of the things that they're experiencing. Like, some people used to pride themselves on, like, having this and having that. Yeah, I got a party bus business. Yeah, I got this other business on the side. Yeah, I got this and that and this and that. Now they don't have nothing. They have nothing to talk about. And again, collective, you don't even need to be around to see it, but for some reason, we're always going to be made aware. Just like that man, he swore up and down he would close the Bay Area shop before he closed the LA one. They both closed. You ain't got a shop, period. What I'm understanding too is a lot of these reasons that these people are faced with their own insecurities is because they kept that perception of you, that you were insecure about something. But again, you had faith. You had the confidence. How was you insecure about anything? You were accepting of what steps you needed to take next. Because again, you're not a complacent person. Can't nobody give you no car and think that you're going to run it into the damn ground. Like, don't put no water in it. Don't get no oil change. Don't go replace the tires. Just let it don't close the windows when it's raining. Just tear the car up. Like, that's this person. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. Some of us are like, how could I ever be a soulmate with this insecure person? Because we had our own insecurities. Had, past tense. We no longer live in that space. That's why we're on to bigger and better. Sometimes, listen, people are here for a season, a reason, and some for a lifetime. What I'm understanding is you went through all of those seasons, them seasoned people, who were seasonal. You went through all those people that you needed to understand the reason, learn the lesson, right? And now you with all your lifetime, folks. It's going to be like a Lifetime movie, right? Like, we're at the middle of the movie where things start taking an upswing. And, the guy starts to really notice you. His feelings start to grow. And he realizes that he's your soulmate that's supposed to last forever. And all these other people that are coming into your lives, your friends. Yeah. It's like, wow. I feel like we're taught that perfection doesn't exist. But that's just the trick of the devil, too. Like, nobody's perfect, but you're perfect for your friend. You know what I mean? You're perfect for whoever you are. Yep, this person is whoever these people are. They feel like straight victims right now. That's a hard space to be too, because if you feel like a victim, then you're in an energy of desperation. They're looking for enlightenment on how to get their life together, but these people are feeling really desperate right now. Victim mentality, being in a victim energy does that. When you feel like a victim, it's like you feel sorry for yourself. Collective don't feel sorry for you. Everybody's got choices. That's an E40 song. Everybody's got choices. So everybody had a choice in this game. Everybody had a choice, to reach out and ask the collective, like, so-and-so said that you gotta, like, because I even had somebody that knew me. This person, I would say back then, they knew me well. And for this person to come and ask me, do you have an OnlyFans? And I specifically said, no. Why do you say that? Oh, no reason. Like, no, because why would you even ask me, do I have an OnlyFans? That's another thing that came up in a download too. It's like if somebody was out here showing everybody, oh, this person has an OnlyFans, how did they find it? Or showing people the dating profile? Like, you would have to know what this person's name is on these things, wouldn't you? And like for me personally, I don't have dating profiles. I don't think I've ever been on Tinder. Like, I've not been on anything. I might have been on Facebook dating for a hot second, but I was like, this is gross. Because everybody was trying to hook up, and I was like, yeah, no. You can't have a conversation with people on those dating profiles. Not a good one, at least. But anyway, yeah. It's like some of these people knew better. But again, they couldn't handle the truth. They couldn't handle the truth. That's wicked. Anyway, yeah, I'm done with these cards, I guess. I don't really want to pull anymore, but I've been told to pull a couple more. Yeah, these people had no boundaries. Wow. Oh, yeah, and their potential is like done, demolished. They won't have any potential until they get rid of these demons, is what I'm hearing. They won't have any balance. They won't be in control of their own emotions. They won't have this change in life. Dang. A lot of these people are feeling tired because that's the part of the demons. That's the part of the spell work that they were doing. Anyway. All right, let me make sure these are all in the upright. Yeah. They ain't gonna have no love. What I'm telling you is, like, I don't even understand how these cards are, like, it's mixed up, some in reverse. They not gonna have no patience. It's a virtue of which they have none. And that's gonna create more problems for them too. They're not gonna have any joy. Yeah. They're not gonna be able to focus. You see the card, they couldn't even focus on the card. Poor unfortunate souls. They should have yielded. They should have had more patience instead of just jump on board and, like, ask the questions that they needed to ask to the person that they needed to ask them to. I created an OnlyFans, but I never posted anything. It was called, I was going to put feet photos on there. And it was called, I can't even remember what it's called. It has something to do with feet. I know that much. But I never even posted, like, one picture. It felt like too much work. And I wasn't interested in all of that at the time. Like, it just felt like too much work. Oh, eucalyptus feet. It's kind of like a play on words, eucalyptus, these feet. But eucalyptus, I may have had a picture of, like, my foot with, like, eucalyptus twig in between it, but, like, that's as far as it went. I couldn't understand the format. Like, I couldn't understand the platform. Again, it felt like too much work. I felt like I could go elsewhere and obtain what I wanted to. I didn't want to be, in a chaotic realm, so to speak. Like, it was just never, I don't know, it just never set well with me. Like, I don't know. Because I was expecting that people were going to be expecting things that I wouldn't be comfortable with. Like, that people were going to want, like, to see my feet in compromising positions. I didn't want that. Like, I don't want my feet wrapped around somebody's nothing. Like, I can show you some cute toes. I can show you some dirty toes. By dirty toes, I mean, like, I just walked outside in the dirt and was grounding myself. Like, but I couldn't get with, like, what I felt like people wanted. Yeah, and that's where that ended. Yeah, and that's when I really started to move towards my destiny, too. It was like, that wasn't a part of my destiny. Eucalyptus feet. Maybe that's something that people have issues with, too, is the fact that you're seductive. You have this very seductive energy. You know how to be seductive. I think that's just their minds. Yeah. Ooh, these people are facing, like I said, these people are facing a lot of obstacles with their family, with the people in their lives, within their family unit. Yeah, because they took that chance. They thought it was going to be good. Yeah, you're protected from their evil eye too, because some people want to look at in your direction, mad at you about their stuff, because you anchored in your stability without having to go be raunchy and nasty. Yeah, you achieved that goal, huh, collective? You were resilient while you did it. Complacency. Ooh, I'm hungry. Yeah. Yeah. That's why these people are sitting in this complacency now. Like they don't have any control over anything. Whatever they were trying to present or pursue, or whatever disruptions they were trying to cause in your life have all ended. Yeah. All this disruption that they were trying to cause. Yeah, you're standing in your personal power and receiving this abundance. Ooh. See, because my ring I wore today matches this. Yep, that's why they're in this victim mode, like this victim energy. Yep. 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 Maybe these people are even saying some of your phrases. Like if there are things that you used to post, they're probably going back to all the screenshots of when they used to screenshot your phrases for motivation and stuff like that. The funny thing is they screenshot them to laugh at you. Look at the collective saying, don't worry about it and this and that. Look at the collective saying this, and this. And that's because you knew you had unlimited potential. Again, you walk in faith, not fear. But yeah, they're probably looking back on some screenshots of all the motivational things that you used to post, trying to like work their head around that energy. They don't really understand it though, because they're so far in this I'm just telling you, like lying, cheating, manipulating, this illusion. They're so wrapped in this illusion right now. They don't even, again, they think that phrases and motivation is the way to get out of the situations that they're in. Oh no, this is like exorcism. They need an exorcism. They need to exorcise this whole toxic energy, this whole toxic phase. How long did they do this? I'm just saying. If you lay down with dogs, you might get fleas. That's right then and there, right? So if you kept, like being like a pig and rolling around in the mud, I'm just saying, some of these people are at a point where it's like they just sat in the shit so long, they don't notice the smell. They're just, all of this disruption in their life, all of these endings that they're having with their family and stuff like this, all these obstacles, they don't even care about, like, again, I hear somebody saying, this too shall pass. You hope. I'm just saying, some people are really sitting out here trying to say things that, like, I don't know, to make themselves feel better is the only thing that I can get. They really are. When in reality, they need to do things to make themselves feel better. It's not just the positive talk. Like, you have to take action. But again, these people are weighed down with everything that they're experiencing, left and right, and left and right, and left and right. And they don't understand which way to go. It's like they be feeling good about a job interview, and it's like, nope, didn't get the job. Making plans, okay, I'm going to move to such and such, and then, you and the kids can come out there in 6 months. Nope. Okay, we got a buyer for the house. Nope. Okay, I'm going to go get the car fixed. Nope. They've been so distracted is what I'm hearing. It's like people thinking they have money in the bank, but they weren't really paying attention to their finances, and like 2 or 3 things hit their account. They are going through some rough stuff, man. I'm just telling you. They were so busy watching you, collective. They weren't paying attention, thinking that, everything was going to be, gravy train. Forgot about them 3 things that was on, what is it called? Auto pay. Forgot all about them. Ooh-wee. I heard somebody's credit is gone, is shot. Somebody's credit is shot. They can't apply for nothing. They can't apply for a birth certificate. I'm just saying. That's the real struggle that some of these people have. Like, they want to go and apply for a birth certificate because they need this doc for whatever, but they can't. They don't even have the money for that. And you out here living this guilt-free life because you didn't do shit. You didn't do shit to them. You did a lot of shit for yourself, though. But you didn't do shit, you know, you did a lot of the things, too, for this person that's coming into your life that you've declared your love for. And that's what you and this person, whoever you're getting with, that's what you guys know about these spiritual contracts, is that basically when you met this person, let's say you lacked hope, and this person had a lot of hope. And that person lacked faith, and you had a lot of faith. You mixed together. So what people don't understand is everything that you obtained from the moment that connection started was given to you by that connection through that other person. That's how twin flames work. And when people don't honor their contracts and don't remain true to the person that they started these contracts with, when you and this person decide, okay, I'm gonna commit to this connection and I'm gonna be focused on this connection and let this connection grow and see where it goes, you know, and be committed to this, even though I'm single, you know, I'm gonna have this unspoken relationship, you know, that's different from like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, play the field a little bit because, you know, this guy over here hasn't asked me to be committed or something like that. But when you decided to embark on that connection and really be there for one another, what I understand is that when one of the two falls short, like when one person decides, oh, you know, I've got all this success now and I'm, you know, right where I wanted to be and yada, yada, yada. If they decide not to proceed with the union, that's when everything gets stripped away from them. It's kind of like that Erykah Badu thing, you know. You can't just have a queen in your life and someone working for you and not expect for things to go awry when you remove them. That's why some people walk away. Like with Tiffany Haddish and Common, Tiffany Haddish went down the drain as far as I'm concerned. After that relationship with Common, there was something she didn't do right. There was something she hadn't healed yet. Now, I could do a reading on it, but I'm not. I don't like her energy. But her career went down the drain. And Common just moved on. In that specific connection, Common was committed to the relationship. Common was committed to who he was seeing. Common did not break the bond and the connection. She did something. There was something she did. And that's why we watched her life go down the drain like that. Think about it too, like, and I'm only saying celebrities because y'all know who these people are. So think about it too, like Rihanna and Chris Brown. They both healed from that situation. I can't say, like, I'm not looking at, you know, I feel like Chris is happy in his life. To be perfectly honest, I've pulled cards on him before and he would rather, like, I don't know if it's a mother or a sister or somebody, but there's a female energy in his life that's like, that he would rather that person have true love than for him to embark on it. And I believe that's because he may know himself well enough to know that he couldn't, you know, live up to that connection, like keeping that vow. But whatever happened between him and Rihanna, they both moved past it and grew. They grew. They understood what they got wrong in that instance. For Chris, it may just be that, like, you shouldn't commit to a relationship that you know you're not going to be able to really commit to. You know, for Rihanna, it's like, you deserve to be with somebody that's going to treat you well, that's going to love you, that's going to marry you, and all these other things. But, you know, focus on that until, you know, focus on making yourself the person that you want to be, and you'll attract the person that you want in your life. Yeah. And neither one of them regretted anything because, again, you have to learn. You know what I mean? You have to learn. All right. I hope that this has been helpful and insightful in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. You're in this energy of living this guilt-free life, loving who you love, you know, declaring your love for all your friends and your family, new friends, new family, new person. Yep. You know, you don't have to do anything you don't want to. So you're not accepting any offers, especially not ones that are submitted spiritually. Like, you can get off the horse already with that one and walk your ass over here and talk to me, because what you need and what you desire needs to have the capability to go beyond this realm, go beyond this world, you know, last for infinity. And things that last for infinity can't just totally be a spiritually based relationship. It has to have more aspects to it. And you understand that now. So, I don't know. All right, I hope that this has been helpful, insightful in some way, shape, or form. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye. Bye. Bye, collective.